Meltdown. Holy smokes, is that loud, at least in my ears. I can't really tell if you can hear that like I am. Anyway, happy Friday, everybody. I'm here almost like on time for a change. This is a wonderful day for me. There's a lot of stuff going on, but the biggest thing that's happening over the last 24 hours is the meltdown of these people, these entitled little biz-ants who think they're special and all that stuff and just are too good to pay $8. And I just am having it. I'm here for it. I'm going to laugh about it, and I'm going to laugh about it again, and I'm going to laugh about it again. So, are you ready? Yeah, I know it's up a bit loud. I like it that way. It's Funky Friday. You can hear me, right? If you can hear me, it's not too loud. Anyway, I'm just in one of those moods today. All right, shall we? Should we begin this thing? Yeah, let's begin, because I got lots to get through. What the hell was that? That's not what I wanted. Turn that over. Let's try. Where the hell is the button? There you go. There's the right button.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Night.
Hell yeah! Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Night on the internet, and welcome back to the P-Dog Night channel on this Friday, the 21st of April, 2023. There's a couple things we got to talk about that we're celebrating today, and and we get to laugh at the weirdos. So I hope you're having a wonderful morning. I am. I'm a little bit chipper today. Can you tell? You can't hear me. What are you talking about? Is this better? Better? No, can't hear you. Stop asking. Who are you talking? Are you talking to me? You talking to me? Huh? You talking to me? Anyway, let's say hi and get into it, because I'm going to go through a bunch of stuff, and I might even add some stuff at the end of the show. So, first in the chat over on Rumble, because Rumble's working today, finally. I don't know what was going on with Rumble yesterday, and then the last 2 days. It wouldn't let me start my show. And I'm beginning to think, so ever since Crowder started doing his show again, Rumble's been a little janky, and I think it's just because the time we broadcast at the same time, and he has at any time 1 million people watch it, and I think it might be stressing Rumble out. They might have to add a little bandwidth, add a few more servers, whatever, because he's killing it over there. And but oh wait, today's Friday, right? Today's Friday. He doesn't broadcast. My shit's working again, so I can't tell you why. I can't tell you. Tell me why ain't nothing but my Rumble. Tell me why it started to tumble. Tell me why I never wanna. Never mind. Stop singing that stupid song. Anyway, first over on Rumble is Avocados Diablo. Who gets the bell? Good morning, sir. Also, Mike Savage Blorg is over there. Appreciate it. By the way, Avocados Diablo. This bud's for you. On YouTube, first in the chat is Zombie Teddy. Blast from the past. Welcome back, sir. Nice to see you here live once in a while. It's good to have you by. Also, Avocados Diablo, James Colley, Lord Stanhope, Dr. Funkenstein's Ghost, Cool Frog, my man. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Next Gen Troll just popped in on over at Rumble. Also, good morning, Mike Savage, Blarg. I said Lord Stanhope, so I caught that. Shady Grin, what's up? Nice to have you back. Fake news experts in the house. Nomads in the house. Also, good morning, Somnambule Nation. Plague Dr. Zach, a.k.a. Zach Osborne. Donkey Punch Bandit. One of my new favorite names on the internet. And then, did I miss anybody? Dr. Funkenstein's Ghost? I did say that, right? Yes, I did. All right, so we're those ain't real dudes in the house. Nice to have you all here. And as people stroll in, I will say hi, or if you're just lurking in the background, that's cool too. I'll remind you a couple times during the show. What's that for? What's the little devil thing for? I don't know. I know your excitement is just covering your pain. knowing it's been 7 years since we lost Prince. Was that today? Oh man. Yeah, he's the icon as far as I'm concerned. I think he's one of the most talented musicians of the 20th century, and I would say even maybe he's in the running for in the top talented musicians of all time. Now, whether you liked his music or not, that's irrelevant to whether or not he's one of the most talented musicians ever. Is his ability to play multiple instruments. I think he played 27 different instruments, and most with a sense of a virtuosity that would surprise most people. For example, if you go onto YouTube and listen to just go look Prince guitar solos, and you'll go and he'll several different events, platforms, whatever, you'll see just his amazing virtuosity that you probably didn't even realize until you actually go and watch it. But I mean, I knew he was a great musician. I know, like, his first album that came out in, I think it was 77, that's just the album entitled Prince that had the song, I Want to Be Your Lover. He produced, wrote, played all the instruments, did all the vocals, all the background vocals for that entire album. Then he put a band together to tour with it. But everything on that album, he wrote and played every instrument on that album. It's just amazing. And, I mean, he could play horns, he could play bass, he could play drums, he could play guitars, he could play all kinds of instruments. And, it's just amazing, an amazing musician. And he literally was an icon since he changed his name to a symbol. That's exactly right, Avocados do, I believe. And he also banged a shitload of hot chicks. Yes, he definitely did that. In fact, one of my wife's friends back in the day, she didn't bang Prince. She banged one of his backup dancers. Not my wife, my wife's friend. Not my wife. We're not going to talk about Lady Boomer that way. Definitely a day of mourning for a lot of us in Minnesota and around the world who remember Prince. So, also today, it happens to be, wait, before I do that, let's see. Did someone else just pop in? I caught that. It is, goodness gracious. Oh, people are replying just to my announcing the show. Thank you, Somnambul Bull Nation, for retweeting the show. By the way, the Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please hit the like button, share the stream. PDogNight.live is where you can donate to the show and get your full messages read. You can do that with super chats and Rumble rants too. But at PDogNight Live, you get full 256 characters. You can write a lot more for a lot less if you choose to do a lot less, or if you just want to, you can put as much as you want in there and still write a lot. But there you go. So let's see. A couple other things happening today. Today is the first day of Eid Mubarak. Now, I am not. I don't know the proper greeting to people who this is a Muslim holiday, and I'm Muslim friends and stuff. They have a different religion than I do. Doesn't mean they're bad people, and most of the ones I do know are great people. And also I think that as far as culture wars in America, I think most of the Muslims in America are with the rest of us. So I don't have any problem. So the Eid Mubarak is the greeting. Okay, thank you. Eid Mubarak to all. This is someone who says, my family came to America in the 1960s, one of the first immigrant Muslim families in New Jersey. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't put this on the screen. Hello. That's just a little brain fart there. Give me a second, because I don't think did I do that yet? No, I didn't. Okay, so this is someone typically saying Eid Mubarak. Eid Mubarak to all. My family came to America in the 1960s, one of the first immigrant Muslim families in New Jersey. We lived in poverty. My father, a PhD student. Today, 50 years later, our family enjoys more freedoms in America than we would in any Muslim nation. We are blessed. So that's the kind of message you're going to find from a lot of Muslims in the United States. They got this, there's this this stereotype that kind of, because of bad things that have happened in the world. But I've never had anything but a respectful experience with people I know that are from that religion. So I'm, good morning, my favorite Canadian Jaeger pony. Hello, Renee Mayette. Hello, Rotten Corpse. Nice to hear you all or see you all. Here's another one. Eid Mubarak to all Muslims around the world. Eid Mubarak. May you have a blissful Eid. And then President Biden. President Biden. Now, I'm curious. I should go back to Easter and see if he had an Easter greeting. I don't know. But anyway, as the month of Ramadan comes to a close, Jill and I send our warmest greetings to Muslims celebrating Eid al-Fitr in the United States and across the world. We wish you a joyous holiday filled with community and compassion. Eid Mubarak. So, look, that's an appropriate message from the President of the United States. I'm sure all the people screaming separation of church and state on the internet today are going to be upset with Joe Biden too. Although I think the Texas legislature did something. I get it, but I'm like, probably not the greatest move. But anyway, we'll get to that later. Also, it just happens to be, and I know everyone is so excited. But it's actually tomorrow, but it's trending on Twitter. So I'll what the hell happened here? That's not what I wanted. What happened to it? Oh, good Lord. What happened to... It's possible. Oh, well, let me think about this. I suppose if you're in Australia, you could already be celebrating this. Earth Day is tomorrow. But it's trending on Twitter today. That's interesting. So it's not Earth Day. I guess we'll talk more about Earth Day tomorrow. Why is everyone talking about it today? Okay. Ken Burns. But look, I think people, it's, just kind of like Pride turned into, it used to be Pride Day, and then it turned into Pride Week, and then it turned into Pride Month. I think Earth Day is going to start becoming that. But Ken Burns, the filmmaker, says ahead of Earth Day, we're sharing the first clip from our upcoming series, The American Buffalo, which traces the near demise and ultimate return of the U.S. national mammal, as well as the species' connection to indigenous communities in the land. The rifle that I own, the 1873 Springfield trapdoor rifle, is the rifle that almost caused the buffalo to become extinct. It was one of those. It was a weapon that they built during the Indian Wars, and it wasn't only because what they would do is they'd use that rifle to take out their enemies' horses more than the enemy themselves, and also the fact that before the Springfield, I don't know why I'm bringing this up about buffaloes, because that's kind of rude. But anyway, what they did is before that they all had the what do you call it when you the flintlocks that they would they'd arm them through the muzzle, whatever that's called. There's a name for that. And so what a lot of the natives who, when they would have the wars, they would muzzleloader. Thank you. They would trick them into firing their muzzleloaders, and they would just wait to fire. And they knew as soon as they all fired, then they could advance and attack, right? Because it takes a while to reload the muzzleloader. Well, when the 1873 Springfield came out with the trapdoor, rather than taking about a minute and a half to reload it, it took about 3 or maybe 10 seconds total, maybe 5 seconds to reload your firearm. So that they would it changed the strategy of war because they could reload so fast and continue shooting. But also it was the weapon that almost took out the buffalo, because that's what was the choice weapon of buffalo hunters, because it was the 45-70. But they would have had an adjustable sight, so you could shoot up to things up to a mile away. To be honest, the Plains tribes would just run the buffalo off cliffs, so they went went to bright Buffalo heaven. I don't know what that means. Hello, Chicago Mike, by the way. Good morning. So anyway, so Earth Day is tomorrow. I'm sure we'll be hearing more about that. Also, a couple other things trending on Twitter. Separation of church and state is trending on Twitter. And that's because the Texas legislature passed a bill apparently requiring the 10 Commandments to be posted in schools. And I've got a feeling. Hello, Jack Gunsky. What's up, man? How you doing? And Simon Wolfwood. So anyway, the Texas Senate, they didn't pass the whole thing yet. Texas Senate approved a bill in which schools must display the 10 Commandments. Conservatives tend to love the Constitution, but completely ignore the separation of church and state. Now, again, there is no second or separation of church and state in the Constitution. It says the Congress shall not establish a state religion. Okay. And there's freedom of religion. Now, and also there's the real freedom from religion. However, I think this has been struck down enough times in the Supreme Court of the United States that I think it's fool's folly in a way. The 10 Commandments, whether or not it's religious, is certainly some pretty good rules to live by, right? I think, in fact, there's certainly a large part of our law around the world, and particularly in the Christian world, pretty much follows the 10 Commandments whether explicitly or not. Most of our laws are related to those 10 Commandments, other than thou shalt not worship no other God than me. That's probably the only one that isn't, but thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not whatever. So I don't know. It's one of those things that, it's probably, I would assume, shouldn't the 5 pillars of Islam be posted? Well, see, that's just it. I have a problem with them doing this in schools. Even though I perfectly am fine with the 10 Commandments. So anyway, and so the chatter on Twitter, Republicans don't want separation of church and state. They want the church to be your state. Well, again, the 10 Commandments aren't exclusive to one religion. I mean, it's, there's a couple. In fact, I think even the Muslims recognize the 10 Commandments because they recognize it's just an extension of, the Abrahamic religions. But there's plenty of Eastern religions that don't. So this is crazy of me. You want your kid exposed to religion in the school, send your kid to a private religious school. See, I agree with that too. I just don't think this is a public school thing. And also, here's the other thing. One of the bigger reasons, not that because I disagree with the 10 Commandments, because I don't at all. But the bigger reason I don't want the 10 Commandments in school is because I don't want your goofy, dyed-haired, liberal radical teacher interpreting the 10 Commandments as they shall. And so I'm not interested in having in schools. I'd rather, if I want my religion taught to my kids, I want to teach it to them myself, or have my place of worship teach them my religion. That's interesting. So, and lots of people are criticizing this. Absolutely crazy. Today, the Texas Senate passed a bill to force every public school classroom in the state to prominently display a copy of the 10 Commandments. They also passed a bill to set prayer and Bible reading times during the school day. Now, did they or not? Let's see what they put here on the screen. Relating to the display of the 10 Commandments of public schools, be it enacted by the legislature of the state of Texas, Chapter 1, Education Code, amended by adding Section 10041 to read as follows. Display of the 10 Commandments. a public elementary or secondary school shall display in a conspicuous place in each classroom of the school a durable poster or framed copy of the Ten Commandments that meets the requirements of subsection B, which is a poster or framed copy of the Ten Commandments described by subsection must include the text of the Ten Commandments as provided by subsection C in a size and typeface that is legible to a person with average vision from anywhere in the classroom in which the poster or framed copy is displayed. Be at least 16 inches wide and 20 inches tall. The text of the poster or framed copy of the Ten Commandments described by subsection A must read as follows. And the first commandment, I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods but me. Thou shalt not make thyself any graven image, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. That does not belong in a school. And as much, again, I support the Ten Commandments, but not in our school. So and it's just giving the left fodder for their own bullshit. I take your ideologies and religions out of our public schools, and like Psalm Nation said, if you want religion taught in your school, send your kid to a religious school. Nowhere in the Bible does Jesus mention America. Nowhere in the Constitution does America mention Jesus. Well, Jesus isn't in the Ten Commandments either. So the Ten Commandments was long before Jesus came around. But anyway, but yeah, they've kind of, I don't know. Now this is, again, and this is just in the Texas Senate. It hasn't passed in the Texas House, hasn't been signed by the governor. So no pun intended, I'm praying they don't pass this bill in the larger Texas legislature. I think it's a silly. I think it's just an eye poke by the Texas Senate. I don't know. So anyway, shall we get to the main and most entertainment? Oh wait. Oh, did I forget one? Nope. Geraldo's trending also. Why is Geraldo trending? Let's do that one next, and then we'll get into the main topic today. So Geraldo Rivera is trending on Twitter, and I haven't quite 100% figured out why. Now, I know that Dan Bongino apparently is leaving Fox News. Not sure. Chuck Woolery said this man is beyond pathetic. Should he be fired by Fox News because he's facing... All right, I'll go to conservative. He's facing calls to be fired over what he said about Donald Trump. And this is from a while ago. Why is this still trending? I don't care about this. Why is he trending today? 37 years ago. It's the anniversary of Al Capone's vault. I forgot all about this. So 37 years ago today, Geraldo opened Al Capone's vault on live TV. Do you remember that? I do remember that. Oh my gosh. They built that up for I had to be over a month that he was doing this special that he was going to open up Al Capone's vault because they found a vault in one of Al Capone's residences, right? And so the big thing, they were going to open up and find out what was in it. They get it. They finally get to it. They're digging down there. They get it opened, and there's nothing in it. It was just one of those. Oh God, they built it up for so long. And holy shit, they found bottles, but nothing important. They found a few bottles. That was it. So anyway, now apparently someone else is saying that I'm sad to learn that Dan Bongino is leaving Fox. I loved when he drove Geraldo Rivera up a tree and mopped the floor with him. Poor Geraldo even called Dan a son of a bitch while on the air. Good luck, Dan, with whatever you do. And my night is complete. Bet whining about losing a blue check. Geraldo's lecturing us on dignity. I have absolutely no problem paying $8 for this kind of entertainment. Okay, so it doesn't really say what. Oh no, they don't. Jesus Christ. I laugh when I read about conservatives who claim they will stop watching Fox after Dan Bongino leaves. They also leave after Paul Ryan took over. I haven't watched Fox in a long time, so people shitting on Fox have no effect on me whatsoever. All right, shall we get into the main topic today? because Twitter yesterday has finally dumped all the legacy blue check marks. So if you're not a Twitter person like me, good morning TC, by the way, and Rick Ashbringer. If so Twitter has these little verification blue check marks, okay, for people who are on Twitter. Now, originally, the blue check marks were to verify people who they were, usually higher profile people, politicians and celebrities, and just, big accounts or people who have some reason that they're fairly well known or just felt the need that they make sure that they weren't being impersonated or whatever, right? And so the blue check marks was actually, in reality, just says if you see a blue check mark, this person is really who they are. Okay, what's going on with something's going on with my green screen there. But at some point around the announcement that Donald John Trump would be running for president, Twitter started to kind of change that policy. I think part of it was when Milo Yiannopoulos got kicked off of Twitter and got his check mark removed, right? He got, Chrome, what's up? Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Milo Yiannopoulos got his check mark removed. And it's like, wait a minute, because of his bad behavior, right? And then so they started doing that with a lot of people, that they would punish people for things they didn't like by taking away their blue check marks. And so the blue check mark then for a long time became kind of a symbol of, we have the right think. We think correctly, and you have wrong think. And because we have right think and we are special, we will get these special blue check marks. And if you don't have a blue check mark, you are not special anymore. Now, that really kind of defeated the purpose of the blue check mark, because a lot of times the blue check mark people were like, well, I will only deal with other people with blue check marks because I am special and they are special, and we have a mindset that is special, and we're more special than you, and we love our blue check marks because we are special. And then Elon Musk took over. And that's after about 4 or 5, 6, 7 years of this blue check mark, meaning you are a special person, or that you don't irritate the other special people too much, because, like, the Ben Shapiro's of the world, who's clearly disagrees with the people who are special, but he's mainstream enough that they wouldn't dare take away his check mark for bad behavior. Well, when Elon Musk came around, he's like, well, this is stupid. This is the blue check mark shouldn't be any kind of an elitist thing. It should be actually you should verify who you are, and that you're the person you say you are, and you have some other presence otherwhere in the world or on the internet or whatever, and we want to make sure that you are you and no one else, whatever. So yesterday was the last day that the legacy check mark, as it is known, where you weren't, by the way, so then they added Twitter Blue, where you can get verified and you're paying $8 a month. And if you're paying $8 a month, you at least should be verified. Now, Twitter Blue, the check mark isn't the only thing about Twitter Blue. There's a lot of other features. Like, for example, I pay for Twitter Blue, full disclosure, because there's some features that I can use on that I like, that I use kind of regularly. Like, I write longer posts every once in a while, and there's a lot of other things, right? Especially I use the analytics and use other things and find top articles. There's a whole lot of little features that you get with Twitter Blue that for some people, it makes sense to use it. For example, because when I want to search for top articles of the day, there's a separate tab that already says the top articles that people you follow are reading or repeating. Or sometimes the top articles the people that follow your followers are looking at. So I get an idea what's hot in the news that day. And then I can sometimes comment on that stuff. And I use it I use that once or twice a week for this show. So it's worth it for me to pay the $8 a month for that, by the way. And I can afford it because you guys donate to the show. Yes, that was a hint. Anyway, so yesterday, though, and then you also can get verified, which is just another side feature of the $8 a month. Yesterday, the legacy check marks, the people who don't pay for Twitter, the celebrities, the people who've been special for roughly 7 to 8 years because they got their blue check marks, and the people who don't have right think, correct think, whatever you want to call it, group think, sheep, who, you know, they all those people who had their blue check marks lost their blue check marks yesterday. And oh my, the meltdown that is happening by some of these celebrities. And the top one, who happens to be trending on Twitter today and was trending on Twitter yesterday and probably trending on Twitter tomorrow because the meltdown she's having, was none other than Alyssa Milano, everybody's favorite lolcow. So Alyssa Milano tweeted yesterday, "So, by revoking my blue checkmark because I won't pay some arbitrary fee, someone can just be me and say a bunch of bullshit." Now, I say to that, so nothing's changed, huh? Does that mean Twitter and Elon Musk are liable for defamation or identity theft or fraud? Holy shit. She's so stupid. It's like, no. First of all, the idea that someone can just be you and say a bunch of bullshit, that's what you already do. So that's not new. And really, is anyone going to be able to tell if someone's spewing a bunch of bullshit with the name Alyssa Milano that it's you or not? I don't think so. But a lot of people were responding to Alyssa Milano yesterday, so let's just see some of the funny ones. This one says, Alyssa Milano thinks her Twitter account is the equivalent to a social security number. Oh, that's pretty good. Here's another one. Says, either get jabbed or lose your job. Oh, the NPCs love that. Pay $8 or lose your blue check mark on Twitter. Aaron Meredith, what's up? Good morning, Hig, too. Ed Krasenstein. Now, of course, the daily Ed Krasenstein tweet is very important. But before I get to that, thank you, Chicago Mike. Appreciate your sponsorship. And you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir. Dropping at $8 in the tip jar. Thank you very much. I'd rather give you the $8 than pay it to Twitter. Hint taken. Use the $8 for your own checkmark. Well, I have one, but I appreciate it. That'll give me one more source of news and daily shit. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. If you'd like to sponsor the show, you can do that at PDogNight.live, right over there. PDogNight.live. And you can become the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor today. Your name will be on top of the leaderboard on top of the screen. Okay. So anyway, just point and laugh. Alyssa Milano has the biggest meltdown all over losing her blue check mark. Let's look at the Twitchy article on this, because she had more than just the one tweet, by the way. She had several. And we'll go through Twitchy, because I love this site because it aggregates stupid tweets. Cope see Alyssa Milano has the biggest, most hilarious meltdown of all over losing her blue check mark. So it's been a while since we last wrote about Alyssa Milano. We know you are all torn up inside about it, right? Yay. Us too. Seems she's very upset with Elon Musk for daring to revoke her blue check mark. Who doesn't know who she is? Now, to be fair, we are seeing this behavior and attitude from the bulk of Hollywood Twitter and some media Twitter, but we'll make fun of them too later. But this is for Alyssa, where she is pretending her entire identity is tied to Twitter. Yes, she's a silly woman. Babbling about defamation, identity theft, takes the melodramatic cake. So we read that one already. We saw this one already. Oh, yeah. See, it had to be Alyssa Milano thinks her Twitter account is the equivalent of her social security number. True, she does. No one wants to be you, Alyssa. Trust me. $8. Oh, man. You know, what's that movie? Better Off Dead. You ever see the movie Better Off Dead? Somebody's got to make the meme. You know what the meme I'm saying, right? You know someone's going to make the meme. It's going to be, the John Cusack up there and the little paper boy saying, I want my $8 with the Elon Musk face. Oh my gosh, if any of you are talented with that kind of stuff, please make that meme and send it to me. I'll post it. I'll take credit for it. I want my $2. Anyway, but she's so important, Steph. Someone can just be me and say a bunch of bullshit. Shit. Yeah, we wouldn't know the difference. That was my reply. That's mine. Watch. Look. That's what I said when I saw this. Where's my profile here? Let's see. Here it is. Yeah, there it is. See, someone can just be me and say a bunch of bullshit. So nothing's changed. I even made myself into a GIF for that one. So if you ever want a P-Dog Night Marty GIF, let me know. I can make all kinds of faces. I'm fairly talented, right? So anyway, she also, real quick. Thank you, Gunfox61, for sponsoring the show. And Gunfox61, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you very much. He says, yeah. Hang on, let me do this so I don't immediately pop up the article. Gunfox, thank you and welcome to the show. He says, yeah, you guessed it. Try not to rant. Uh-oh. What's this? Breaking news. What? Oh, we talked about this yesterday, but I'll read the article when I get done with the Twitter stuff. Okay, thank you, Gunfox61. Dropping a Hamilton in the tip jar. New Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you very much. All right, back to this. Is anything? She had other tweets about this, and she doubled down on some shit. Huh. Well, anyway, so let's move on. Because she's not the only one trending because of the Twitter meltdown. Also, Bette Midler is trending. Now she's bitching up a storm about it. Says, Elon took down my blue check away. I'm unverified. After all these years and thousands of tweets and free content, this worm has the nerve to decertify me. Lady, please. This Twitter does not certify you, and you're still bet-ass Midler. I should say misery. Bet-ass Midler. Jay Pylon's in the house, and so is Trippy Liberty. Welcome, gentlemen. So anyway, after a few minutes, we have already raised the $8 that Bette Midler couldn't raise in 2 months. Thanks, Marsupial Gamer, for the generous donation. Any further donations will go to charity. They had a GoFundMe for Bette Midler. Marsupial Gamer, a friend of the show, popped that in there. That's hilarious. Carby Duncan says, if it means that much to you, Bet, I will head over to Spirit Halloween and buy 30 copies of Hocus Pocus for $8 so you can afford a check mark. Bette Midler having a meltdown over losing a blue check mark is hilarious. Who agrees? Now oh my gosh, she had a thread on this. She did a thread. Let's read Bette Midler's thread for losing her check mark. Oh, it's just one. Is it just one tweet? I guess it's not a thread. Elon decided that I'm not me. I'm fake. Obliging me, who has contributed mightily to your platform, at least until you tweak the algorithm and tank my metrics to pay monthly because you don't have enough money and you're humiliated because everyone thinks you're pathetic. Well, sounds like Bette Midler's having a bad day. Anyway, Cat Turd says your tears are so delicious they taste like ice cream. No check mark. Who dis? Yeah, nobody knows who you are, Bet, anymore because you are no longer. Oh no! Cher paid for a check mark. She still has her blue check mark. Is that for real? Wait a minute. Let's look it up. Let's find Cher. Hold on. I normally would never care about Cher at all, which I don't. But here we go. We've got Twitter here, and let's type in @Cher and see if she's still there. Oh, by the way. You know who else was kind of mad about the blue checkmark thing? Well, a lot of celebrities were. But yes, Cher is still got a blue checkmark. Holy criminy. Where is it? Cher? Click Cher. There we go. Look, she still has a blue checkmark. That means she's paying $8. Is anyone complaining about it to Cher? I don't think no one's giving a shit about it. I can't believe it. All right. Anyway, so yeah, so Bette Midler's mad. She mad, and a lot of people are talking about Elon today. So in the same meme there. Let's see, and this is Razorfist talking about Bette Midler. As close to an honest reaction as you'll ever see. Nothing to do with Elon. Nothing to do with dropping $8. That's entitled elitist resentment over no longer receiving special dispensation and affirmation of their status. That alone was worth the $8. Yes, that is worth the $8 alone for me too, just to watch these people just melt down. Now, what's interesting too is SCOTUS blog is complaining too, saying by Twitter, the tipping point was having to pay for verification when we feel we add a lot of value. We also feel solidarity with NPR and share concerns about Twitter's direction. You can find us on the blog and TikTok. Oh, great. Maybe the Chinese will learn something from your SCOTUS blog. If we join another platform, we will send word here. So they're still on Twitter, so they can send where else they'll be. And Styx says, using a literally shy com-run site to own the evil Elon and his wicked plan to turn a profit. Yes, because, Twitter should never turn a profit. Anyway, real quick, thank you, Gunfox61, also dropping another deuce in the tip jar. Appreciate it. And you still are the Street Web Superstar sponsor of the day, who says, okay, read this one then. I'm going to read the other one. I just haven't got it. I'm just not done with the Twitter nonsense yet. But you are definitely going to be the first thing after the Twitter nonsense. But let's see what this one is. Okay, isn't that... We did this one yesterday too. What? Wait, let us start. Wait, is this something else? Oh no, that's SpaceX. Yeah, no, we saw those. We played the SpaceX launch yesterday on the show. I'll read it though, because I appreciate you sending me stuff, and you are definitely sponsoring the show. So I will definitely get to that. All right, let's see Elon though. Let's go back to Elon a little bit. So Elon was trending, and just a few things. Dom Lucre, I don't know how he's pronounced it, says, thank you, Elon Musk. Your compliment means a lot to me. I work hard to provide legitimate independent journalism. Oh, okay. I was going to ask about the Twitter thread, but a lot of people tweet to Elon for other things. Oh, and here's the other thing. Wait, you have to see this thread. Hang on a second. Let me go into, I think I bookmarked it. Let's see here. Because this is the kind of stuff that people are writing, and this is silly. Oh, wait a minute. What did I do there? Yeah, I did. Okay, so... Oh, no. That's not what I want to do. Okay, let me open this and open another thread because I want to make sure that I put these links in the links at the end of the show. So this goes back to... There we go. All right, this is the thread that caught me onto the initial... or the tweet that got me onto this, though. Because Twitter wrote... yesterday or the day before yesterday, as tomorrow, 420, and you know how Elon loves the 420 jokes, right? We are removing legacy verified check marks. To remain verified on Twitter, individuals can sign up for Twitter Blue here. Organizations can sign up for verified organizations here. Tomorrow is shaping up to be quite the day. Now, down here, there's other people complaining. Being verified used to be a symbol of trust, so users were reassured that what they were reading was true. From valid organizations and individuals, now being verified means you're willing to pay monthly for a symbol that has no value. No, it was not ever a symbol of trust. The idea that you're gonna all these people check marks, I trusted them because of their check marks. I used to laugh at them because of their check marks, because usually they all had the same ideas and philosophy and ideology for the most part. That's all it was. It was, if you're a good, right-thinking person, or I should say correct-thinking person, we'll give you a check mark. Now anyone can be verified that they are who they are, which is what it was for in the first place. If I see a New York Times tweet that doesn't have the blue check mark, I'll probably have a verified organization check mark, I know it's the New York Times just by the bullshit they read and the articles they link. It's and really, do you think because Alyssa Milano had a blue check mark, I trusted her, what she was saying, her judgment, what she thinks, her philosophy on life, her ideology? No, I don't. I think she's a lunatic. But she had a blue freaking check mark. Same with Bette Midler. Same with a lot of people on Twitter that sometimes I would point and laugh, and that's all. So that's all. Your blue check mark didn't mean anything. What you say is what meant something to me. And a lot of times, the people with the blue check marks were the most likely to say some bullshit. So I don't care. But the only reason I have the check mark now is because I like the features that come along with Twitter Blue. Some people don't need those features. I use them quite a bit. So you and your people bitching about your damn blue check marks can blow it out your butthole. But anyway, this Julie Milner, sees someone at using cigarettes, which I don't even know what that means. Elon thinks this is a funny joke. As a former verified account who lost their blue check mark, I know how dangerous this really is. People are going to die. What? People are going to die? What the hell? Now, one of my favorite accounts, 3-Year Letterman, who is a Twitter Blue member, as you see by the check mark, and one of the funniest accounts on Twitter, he says, Jingles, the First Amendment literally protects the right to remove your blue check. I recommend you delete this misinformed tweet and try actually reading the Declaration of Independence. So if you're not familiar with 3-Year Letterman, he's a parody account that is a youth football coaching legend, diehard Georgia fan, 3-year high school football letterman, show-stopping Little League umpire, and region champion, 3-way tie. So anyway, that's hilarious. Good morning, Shrapnel. What's up? And thank you, Javin, is mine. I was dropping a deuce in the tip jar. I will clean that up later. Who says, I dropped your fresh meme below. You tweeted the show. Greetings from Graceland. The ghost of Elvis sends warm regards. Well, thank you very much. Again, you dropped the fresh meme below your tweet. Oh, the tweet of the show. Oh, well, let's check out the tweet. You've already created the meme. Here we go. Let's go into my profile and I'll look for the tweet of the show here. Profile. There's the show. Let's click that and thank you, Ig. That is awesome. Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. I just had to retweet that. That's hilarious. Well done, sir. Well done. Okay. I made an appeal to one of my least abrasive accounts. LOL, wasn't approved. Oh, yeah, I know. Text AG, by the way, good morning. All right, let's see. Am I done with this yet? Am I done with Twitter? Oh, and then the other thing that's trending is pay the $8. Pay the $8, you whiny bitches. Jason Whitlock, it's $8 a month to support a service that, whether we like it or not, media members use daily to do their jobs. I do not understand the reluctance to pay the $8. The entitled refuse to pay and support. They always want something for nothing. It's about support, not fame. Spot on. Ed Krasenstein, I never did the Ed Krasenstein tweet, did I? This is it. The attacks on Alyssa Milano are out of line. She brought up a concern I think a lot of celebrities have. Celebrities on Twitter are left with 3 choices right now. Pay the $8, cancel their Twitter account, know that some of their fans will be misled. Possibly. What? Oh my gosh. Do you think there's going to be a rash? Well, here's the problem. Anytime a celebrity brings up something as stupid as that. Oh my gosh, you're some of the. I might get impersonated. The people might make memes of me, and then I won't be able to stop it. Yeah. It has the Streisand effect. As soon as you start saying that shit, yeah, that's going to happen. So I hope there's some great, great parody Alyssa Milano accounts. I really, really do. I'm sure they'll be jumping up and down, doing silly stuff all day long, and we'll get to laugh at you even more. Someone says, I'm tempted to pay the $8 again, pose as Alyssa Milano, and watch her have a meltdown just to watch Elon Musk laugh at her. Yeah, that would be good. I'm just saying, just pay the $8. So anyway, it's like, fine, don't pay the $8. Just be on Twitter without the check mark. It's still you. It's still your account, you morons. Morning Joe loses it over Elon Musk's Twitter blue check system. Let's watch this. I'll give this one its own link. I'm going to give it its own link to this one, and then I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on after this, I promise. Morning Joe melts down over Twitter. Let's see it. Let's see. We'll go full screen for this one. And because, what is the nickname that Hard Bastard gives him? Beaker and Leaker, because her face was leaking after she got her plastic surgery for the 6th time. Anyway, here's Beaker and Leaker.
The social media giant began to make good on its promise to remove the check marks from users last night, but the move caused widespread confusion over which accounts are authentic.
Oh, bullshit! Bullshit! God! It spread wide. In the first day, it spread widespread confusion over which accounts were real and which weren't. By the way, I think most news organizations or whatever, they get their blue check or whatever, their organization check for free. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I know they still get it. My God.
Various fake accounts sprang up, including this one claiming to be Hillary Clinton.
Gee, you're not going to be able to guess that HILLARICLLINTON. You think that people are going to believe that's real. And if they do and look at the name and believe it's real, they're stupid. Like Leaker is. Some news. I'm thrilled to announce another historic run for President of the United States. Together, I know we'll challenge the America, change the world, and change the future. Join me, and I promise I won't let you down again. That's funny. That's funny. No one's confused if that's really Hillary Clinton. And if they are, they see the Hillary Clinton, they'll retweet it and they'll go, oh, I'm a dummy for not catching it.
And proclaiming her entry into the 2024 race. That tweet received over 60,000 views before being...
a whole 60,000 views on Twitter. Wow. A whole 60,000 views, mind you. Now, when they say views, that just means that 60,000 people might have seen it out of what? 700 million people who have a Twitter account? 60 million views. Oh, wow.
Being taken down. The removal of the free verification process also raises concerns about the risks of misinformation. A number of false government accounts, including some posing as the IRS amid tax filing season, emerged yesterday. Other accounts, such as this one from the city of New York, attempted to proclaim their authenticity only to be met by fraudulent accounts that created further chaos. Users seeking verification can pay $8.
Now, all these people bitching about this, they're causing this to proliferate even more. This is a kind of a, it's comparable to the Streisand effect. The more they bitch about it, the more they're going to get of it because people know it pisses them off. So it's just kind of silly that they're having this meltdown.
There's a month for a subscription program in which any account can obtain a blue check mark.
Can be verified. You realize when they do that, they still verify you. They doesn't automatically get a check mark. You have to give them some things to prove that either places, other websites you have, and you have to give them you have to have some form of payment, right? So they can trace it back to you if they need to. Jesus Christ.
Well, and that's the thing, Gene Robinson. It is absolutely chaotic. I looked at so many of these examples yesterday where it's just absolute chaos, and especially with these government agencies, these health agencies, these safety agencies. This is going.
People are going to die,
and the possibility of fraud. I mean, this is going to cause a lot of heartache, a lot of hardship for Americans.
No, because government entities still have a check mark. Government entities, the President of the United States and government agencies all get their little gray check mark that is the authentication of government agencies. So these accounts may have been up before that happened, but they're not official accounts. Government agencies still have their check marks for free, in fact. So I don't know why it would.
How about for democracy?
For democracy! Did you hear that? How about for democracy? Shut the hell up. Y'all whiny bitches. It's crazy. All right, shall we get into, let's get into some other news now, because I've been talking about that enough. Intern lives matter. I don't know what that means. Hello, Woodcutter. How you doing? Anyway, all right, let's move on. We're going to get into the couple of articles. Breaking news from Gunfox 61. And yes, I'm stealing HB's bit. I don't care. I don't have the little graphic thing, but let's see. Now that we talked a little bit about this yesterday, but thank you, Gunfox 61, by the way, for dropping me a couple articles through the Streamlabs system. Larry Kudlow says Biden is creating a responsibility tax. Kudlow calls Biden subsidizing high-risk mortgages. Yes, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. In the world of outrages and Bidenomics, big government socialism, tax excess, and destroy a whole industry through unelected regulatory bureaucrats where diversity, equity, and inclusion and redistribution reign over incentives to promote opportunity and growth. We have a new outrage. Yes, we do. Hardworking folks. I'm talking typical middle-class blue-collar family types who play by the rules and save their money and create a nest egg to buy a house, i.e. the American dream. They're going to be penalized by the Biden administration. Oh, yeah. We talked about it yesterday, but I'm still going to read it again just to give you a second sample of it. In another example of Biden's war on success, the administration is going to hike payments for good credit home buyers in order to subsidize high-risk mortgages. That's right. In fact, here.
That's right.
The new federal rules from the Federal Housing Financing Agency, which is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which control 60% of the housing mortgage market, go into place in May 1st. If you have improved your credit score to 680 or higher, or if you have made a down payment of 15 to 20%, you will be penalized with a higher mortgage interest rates and new large fees on the transaction. So by the way, I forgot to tell you my prediction on this yesterday. So here's what's going to happen. If I were advising someone as a mortgage loan officer, whatever, and they didn't want to pay the higher interest rate and fees, penalty fees, rather than doing something to mess up your credit score, I would just tell people, look, I would suggest you put, if you don't mind making the payments, put a little bit less down so you're not putting down 15%. You'll have the mortgage insurance for a short period of time, and then just put the rest on your toward your principal a week or so later. And then ask the bank to take off your mortgage insurance because you have 20% equity in your house. You won't get the extra fees or the higher interest rate because you didn't do it during closing. Now, that should be a workaround. Now, some people say, well, I'll have to pay mortgage insurance for a month or two or whatever period. And just get a 679 credit score. Malicious compliance, LOL. Yeah, I know. I said miss one payment on a credit card and just have a really good excuse why you did. Because they'll usually, if you have one 30-day late payment, it won't, the lenders aren't going to penalize you if you have one. And you can write some BS explanation, and then that's fine too. But this is crazy. This is an outrage. This is Larry Kudlow saying, though. Here, let's see. Let's just listen to Larry. Is this here?
Hello, folks, and welcome to Kudlow. I'm Larry Kudlow. So, in a world of outrages and Bidenomics, big government socialism, taxing success, destroying a whole industry through unelected regulatory bureaucrats, where diversity, equity, and inclusion and redistribution reign over incentives.
When you hear the word equity, what do you do, class?
Growth, we have
what else,
a new
K?
outrage. For hard-working
and
folks,
selected boy.
And I'm talking typical middle-class, blue-collar type families who play by the rules and save their money to create a nest egg to buy a house.
He does look a little bit like Giuliani.
The American dream. They're going to be penalized by the Biden administration.
Penalized.
That's right.
For
it's
being
another example
responsible.
Of Biden's war against success.
Ding.
The administration now is going to hike payments for good credit home buyers.
This is
in order
insane.
To subsidize
by the way, this is absolutely insane.
Mortgages. That's right. New federal rules from the Federal Housing Finance Agency, which is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and they control about 60% of the housing mortgage market. Mm-hmm. Those rules go into place May 1st. If you have improved, you're not going to believe this, folks. If you have improved your FICO credit score to 680,
which I've done,
higher, or if you have made a down payment of 15 or 20%,
which we did for our last house,
with higher mortgage interest rates and new large fees on the transaction. This is an outrage.
Yes, it is.
This is an attack
it's insane.
On the American dream.
It's insane. You're
now,
right,
look,
Larry.
Everybody should try to put 20% down. That's a commitment to the future. It's a matter of financial responsibility.
And it makes you much less risk because you have
be penalized.
More incentive to keep your money. You would want to lose that money.
If you're recovering from COVID, or even going way back, if you're recovered finally from the financial meltdown of 2008, 2009, and you get your FICO credit score up to 680 or nearly 700, you should be rewarded for your effort. What Biden is doing
this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
A responsibility tax. Again, he is attacking middle-class people who play by the rules, work hard, saved to invest in a home. Really, the most cherished aspect of American life, your own home. Now, the other side of the coin is that people who have not achieved a good down payment or a good credit score, they're going to be rewarded with lower mortgage rates and lower fees.
It should never happen.
Everybody wants as many people as possible to own a home. Okay, I get that. Share in the American dream. But, this is not the way to do it.
Nope, it is not.
Fannie Mae and Freddie
insane.
Mac had to be bailed out by taxpayers 15 years ago.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Wait for this. To the tune of $191 billion.
With a B.
Taxpayer.
With a B.
Why? Well, because these government-backed agencies put their seal of approval and the government backing behind mortgages for people who really could not carry the mortgage financially.
Some of those products they had to sell were terrible.
Just like they've gone up now, it made matters worse for folks who either had no equity in their home, maybe 5%, did not have steady incomes, did not have a savings nest egg.
Good point, Green Badger.
And they defaulted.
Good point. Good point. It's not.
It's
not insane if you're purposely trying to destroy America. That's a point. How much is left? This I don't even think I need to watch. That's there's a little more left, but I don't need to. I made all these points yesterday for the most part. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy, and it's just typical of the Biden administration. Do everything that is really just dumb. That it doesn't make any historical sense. It doesn't make any, financial sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Why penalize the people who do right, who do their best, who do everything they can to do the right thing? You punish them. It's insane. All right, real quick. Thank you, Chicago Mike, very much for sponsoring the show. And Chicago Mike, guess what? You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir, with a big bullet in the tip jar. Says MSNBC sharing misinformation and Twitter sharing misinformation. Pot, kettle, black, anyone? Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, next article. Thank you, Gunfox61, again for the second article here. And this was on the launch of the SpaceX new rocket yesterday, Starship or something like that. Conducts maiden launch, clears launch site, and the first stage flight. So one thing I saw yesterday is there were some people on Twitter giving Elon Musk a little bit of crap because the rocket blew up. But that wasn't the important part of the flight, I guess. The important part was getting it off the launch pad and with this new rocket and the new payload and the extra large rocket because they're trying to use it, develop something for further use. And frankly, the fact that they, I had a point here, but anyway, someone mentioned yesterday that that's part of the testing process. You test these things and you fly them out over the Gulf and they might explode, but that's part of the testing process. But the people at SpaceX thought it was a success. So anyway, the most powerful rocket in history launched on its second attempt Thursday, the first major step to making life multiplanetary. Liftoff of Starship from Starbase, Texas, came after an uneventful countdown with only a couple of short holds before roaring off the launch mount. The vehicle lost several Raptors during the first stage ascent before starting to rotate out of its trajectory before it was destroyed by the flight termination system. So it was a planned termination. Clearing the launch site and gaining first stage data will provide vital data for the next flight with Booster 9 and Ship 26. We saw that yesterday. From Starhopper 1's 50-meter flight in August 2019 until now, SpaceX has been working through several vehicles to fully develop Starship. Test vehicles for the serial numbers 1 through 6 were used to test Starship tank build quality, with SN5 and SN6 also helping gather early flight data. Later vehicles from SN8 to SN15 were used by the company to test the extreme complex skydiving, flip, and landing burn maneuvers needed to turn Starship from horizontal to vertical as it comes for a landing. After several tries and one near miss, a successful landing was finally achieved with SN15. Around this time, the focus shifted and the company started developing Super Heavy, the monster booster that makes up the first stage of Starship. Several iterations were made as teams figured out the best booster design to use the first integrated flight of the system. The iterative design approach also included decisions like not flying Booster 4 and Ship 20 after several months of working on the vehicles while being penciled in for the first test flight. Instead, SpaceX chose to go ahead and use Booster 7 and Ship 24, each boasting substantial improvements over their predecessors for this historic milestone of the program. These vehicles were produced between late 2021 and 2022, with Booster 7's first rollout to the launch site occurring in March 31st, 2022, about a year ago. The booster's test campaign suffered several issues as to be expected with development vehicles, but these were eventually resolved. Let's see how much is left here. During a cryogenic proof test on April 17th, 2022, Booster 7's transfer tube was crushed and damaged, and teams had to roll it back to the production site for repairs. On July 11th, Booster 7 performed a 33-engine spin prime test that ended in a sudden and violent explosion underneath it. This was later traced back to an anomalous high concentrations of gaseous methane mixing with ambient air. Wait a minute. Okay, let me ask you something. Did this rocket have too many cows inside? Too many cows? Get it? Okay, no, it didn't. Where'd all that methane come from? Just curious. Gunfox says, the test yesterday, its only goal was not to blow up on the pad. The second goal was to make max Q which is the maximum pressure on the vehicle. Okay, good. That's good to know. That's why, and see, a lot of people were like, when they did the planned blow up in the sky, that's why all the people at SpaceX were clapping and cheering and whatnot, because they got this to the stage they wanted to. So that's cool. I appreciate that. Thank you, Gunfox. That helps. Anyway, more details about the launch. We talked a lot about this yesterday, but if you want more details, this article will be in the links. Like I do every show, I'll have a single link that will have one page, a link to one page that'll have all the links from everything we talked about today. So anyway, thank you, Gunfox, very much for popping that article into the Streamlabs. All right, a couple things more, and then we'll finish up. One article in American Greatness. So apparently, there was a lot of extra tapes and video, whatever, on January 6th, right? And they're still, now some of them were released to Fox News by Kevin McCarthy, right, to Tucker Carlson. But feds are still writing the release of the January 6th tapes, despite mounting legal pressure. Matthew Graves just received a court summons. As the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Graves is rarely on the receiving end of a legal inquiry. In fact, Graves, this is by Julie Kelly, by the way, who is a prolific follower and writer about all things January 6th from a right-leaning perspective, okay? In fact, Graves' hands must be tired from signing thousands of criminal indictments, sentencing memos, and plea offers related to his ongoing investigation into the events of January 6, 2021. Just this week, the FBI arrested 2 more individuals on minor offenses, giving Graves' overstaffed office more fresh meat for the Justice Department's vengeful retaliation against Americans who protested the certification of Joe Biden on Election Day. Now, what's interesting about that, too, because weren't there people all over D.C. breaking shit and burning down buildings and shit on the day Donald Trump was inaugurated? I wonder how some of those cases if they've been dispensed, have they been even litigated, or they all let go? Because I know that a lot of those people were protesting out in Portland for a month. They just dropped the charges on most of them. So anyway, let's see. No investigative technique is too invasive for Graves' henchmen to use in court proceedings. Big tech, banking institutions, airlines, hotels, and other private interests work hand in glove with the Justice Department to hunt down Trump supporters and track their every movement before and on January 6th. Much of the evidence consists of video footage captured by Capitol Police closed-circuit television system during the breach of the building. Investigators routinely include still shots of the surveillance video in criminal complaints. But now, Graves is under pressure from all sides to make the video footage public. A consortium of major media companies is suing Graves and the FBI for ignoring Freedom of Information Act requests to obtain the still secret recordings. As I've reported since May 2021, the entire trove was designated, quote, highly sensitive. The government material shortly after the investigations began. Clips entered as evidence in January 6 cases are under strict protective orders. Over the past 2 years, a group called the Press Coalition filed motions seeking to unseal video clips in numerous cases. However, it never requested access to the full archive of footage. That changed after House Speaker Kevin McCarthy allowed Fox News host Tucker Carlson to view the videos and air selected clips in February. Lawyers representing the group, which includes This is CNN, the New York Times, and Politico, among other outlets, wrote congressional leaders to demand all closed-circuit camera footage recorded on January 6, 2021 inside the U.S. Capitol and on its surrounding outside grounds. In what might be the first news organization organizations commended McCarthy. Quote, the speaker also explicitly recognized the overriding public interest in disclosure. I was asked in the press about these tapes, and I said they do belong to the American public. I think the sunshine lets everybody make their own judgment. A letter quoted McCarthy. The Press Coalition agrees with the speaker. Now that Now that the CCTV videos have been released to one member of the news media, one whose program is categorized by its own network as opinion programming, they must be released to the rest of the news media as well. That's a quote. To bolster this request, a group filed FOIA's Freedom of Information request with the Executive Office of the U.S. Attorneys and the FBI seeking copies of the video. A month later, the group filed a motion to intervene in the criminal case of William Pope, a January 6th defendant representing himself. Pope has been fighting to gain access to footage recorded by both surveillance and police-worn body cameras. In discrediting the Justice Department's insistence that releasing CCTV recordings would pose a security threat, the press coalition noted that the government had no such security concerns when video clips were aired during Trump's second impeachment and the January 6th committee during those televised hearings. Because the public already has access to an enormous volume of CCTV videos from inside the Capitol, the government likewise cannot demonstrate that permitting the defendant to republish other CCTV videos would pose any further threat to security of the Capitol. The group's lawyer wrote in a March 23rd filing, especially when weighed against the public's interest in viewing one of the most, in viewing the most significant assault on the Capitol since the War of 1812. Really? It's funny. They keep saying dumbass shit like that. I'm sorry. I think the bombing of the Senate building in 85, I think the shooting of 5 congressmen in Congress in the Capitol building in 1956 or whatever by the Puerto Rican nationals, I think those were far more significant attacks. But I'm just me. Says the government cannot justify maintaining its designation of the CCTV videos as sensitive or highly sensitive. Now, Graves' office, the U.S. attorney, shot back, insisting the security designation was appropriate and questioning the press's coalition's standing in the matter. Really? Yeah. Anyway, the full trove of video, Graves argued, isn't a judicial record, so media cross access should be limited. Bullshit. Only clips produced as evidence in specific cases would qualify as such. Graves also suggested, quote, militants, end quote, could study the footage in order to plan another attack on the Capitol. Well, this attack wasn't planned. Well, except by the FBI. I mean, come on. This is crazy. Graves' claims are, of course, absurd nearly 28 months later as he continues his selective prosecution of thousands of Trump supporters. No one has attempted to attack the Capitol again. Capitol Police received a major budget boost in the aftermath of January 6th, which involved the hiring of new officers and expanding the department's intelligence services. Capitol Police are so flush with cash that the department is opening satellite offices in other states, including California and Florida. And why the fuck are the Capitol Police opening satellite offices in other states? I think that's insane. And who's paying for that? Oh, wait, we are. Oh, good for us. Anyway, I'll finish this up. Moreover, once one has lost the regime-compliant corporate press, one is in deep trouble. Oh, wait, certainly this manpower could easily thwart another Meemaw furry-horned insurrection. No? Anyway, I stopped that. Moreover, once one has lost the regime-compliant corporate press, one is in deep trouble. This could finally be the comeuppance Graves so richly deserves. The judge in the Polk case is now considering the coalition's motion. Judge Rudolph Contreras sounded skeptical of Graves' defense during a status hearing several days ago. Judge Amit Mehta is separately handling the coalition's FOIA lawsuit against the FBI and Graves, who has yet to respond to the FOIA in the time required. Ironic how the prosecutor still chasing down Capitol trespassers is immune to following the law himself. Spot on. The FBI, however, did respond and said the Bureau came up empty-handed. What? Quote, listen to this quote. We were unable to identify records subject to the FOIA PA, or FOIPA, that are responsive to your request, the FBI's FOIA chief told the group in a letter last month. Therefore, your request is being closed. The press coalition mocked the FBI's excuse, even though it's leading the riot investigation and has published excerpts of the Capitol surveillance videos on its own website. The FBI has absurdly and improperly claimed that it searched for but was unable to identify the requested records. That is some bureaucratic bullshit. As the public and January 6 defendants wait for McCarthy to fulfill his pledge to release all the videos, there's a slim chance a federal judge will beat him to it, regardless of the patience of the American people. Congressional Republicans and the media is running thin. So I read the whole thing because I think it's important. The bullshit that's going on with that whole situation is incredible. Now, just let's hit a few headlines before we go. Apparently, remember there is apparently an IRS whistleblower regarding Hunter Biden? Well, in the New York Post today, Attorney General Merrick Garland is the senior Biden official in Hunter Biden's IRS whistleblower claim. Interesting. So, Attorney General Merrick Garland is the unnamed official whose sworn testimony before Congress is being challenged in a bombshell letter from an IRS whistleblower, a whistleblower's attorney, that also alleges a cover-up in the Hunter Biden criminal investigation, according to the Post has learned. Attorney Mark Little wrote Wednesday that the longtime IRS employee wants to provide information to congressional leaders to contradict sworn testimony to Congress by a senior political appointee, also known as Attorney General Merrick Garland, and also to detail preferential treatment in the criminal probe of the first son. Shocker. Shocker. I do not believe that the Attorney General of the United States is giving any preferential treatment to Hunter Biden. I think that is a lie. It's a Russian disinformation, and it's just terrible. The whistleblower already made the disclosures to the inspectors general of the Treasury and Justice Department. However, due to a quirk, this is great. However, due to a quirk in federal law, he needs congressional approval to more fully describe his allegations to his own lawyers, which he wants to do before testifying to lawmakers. Garland has repeatedly claimed under oath that Delaware U.S. Attorney David Weiss, a Trump administration holdover recommended in 2017 by the state's Democratic senators, is able to criminally charge Hunter Biden without the permission of other Justice Department leaders, despite Republicans challenging the factual accuracy of that claim. So anyway, there's a lot more in the article, but this the whistleblower is going to give the goods on Attorney General Merrick Garland, who may well have lied to Congress. Is anybody shocked by that revelation? Next. Apparently, testimony reveals Anthony Blinken, as advisor to Biden campaign, spurred the letter from 51 Intel officials discrediting the Hunter Biden laptop story. I mentioned this in passing, I think, the other day. The author of the now debunked public statement from 51 intelligence officials casting doubt on the bombshell Hunter Biden laptop story revealed this month to Congress that Anthony Blinken, then a senior advisor to the Biden campaign, was the impetus of the statement. Former CIA acting director Michael Morrell testified to the House Judiciary Committee on April 4th that now Secretary of State Blinken called him about a laptop story just days after the New York Post published it, and that the call triggered Morrell to draft a statement. Wait a minute. Morrell, wait. I said the name, but where is it? Anthony Blinken, blah, blah, blah. Acting CIA Director Michael Morrell. Anyway, Representative Jim Jordan and Michael Turner, chairmen of the Judiciary Committee, and Intel committees, respectively, made the revelation on Thursday in a letter to Blinken obtained by Breitbart News that include portions of the Morell's testimony. The chairman wrote that Morell testified in the closed-doors interview with the committee that Blinken's call to Morell was couched as simply gathering Morell's reaction to the Post story, but that it set in motion the events that led to the issuance of a public statement. That public statement by 51 intelligence and former intelligence officials. Remember the letter? So let's see. And then they have a little clip down here, and looks like a letter from Jim Jordan to Anthony Blinken. You can read all that in here. But so they're going to be asking Anthony Blinken some very important questions soon. Next, in the Washington Free Beacon, the Weaponization Committee's top Democrat threatens Twitter-filed journalist with jail time. What? This is from a couple days. This is from yesterday. A top Democrat on the House Weaponization Subcommittee threatened a journalist with prison time over his congressional testimony that exposed the government's attempt to influence Twitter. Now, remember, Stacey Plaskett, who's the Democrat representative from the Virgin Islands, doesn't even have voting power in the United States Congress, but she's the senior member of that committee, but by her tenure in as a member of Congress from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett made the threat in a letter to reporter Matt Taibbi, who testified on March 9th about his Twitter Files series, which revealed details of interactions between the FBI, federal agencies, and Twitter executives. Plaskett, noting a discrepancy in Taibbi's testimony, warned him in a letter that providing false information to Congress is punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment. Plaskett took issue with Taibbi's claim that the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency pressured Twitter to censor various news articles on its platform. While the agency did correspond with Twitter regarding the censorship of the content on the platform, Taibbi acknowledged in a television interview that he mixed up the federal agency with the Center for Internet Security, a nonprofit that receives federal funding during testimony. Now, this is the supposed huge discrepancy in all of Matt Taibbi's revealing of the Twitter files that makes the entire 7 or 8 different releases invalid, right? They say, well, he made a mistake in the name of the agency, so that renders everything he said in the entire thing, all of it's not true now, according to these people. So Plaskett, her threat is another instance of government backlash to Taibbi's testimony. IRS agents visited Taibbi's home in New Jersey while he was in Washington delivering the testimony that spurred Plaskett's threat. In a letter to the IRS and Treasury Department last month, House Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan said his committee would investigate whether the visit was a thinly veiled attempt to influence or intimidate a witness before Congress. The Weaponization Committee Plaskett sits on was created to investigate the use of government agencies such as the Congress, the IRS, and the FBI. So basically, she's threatening him with jail time because he had an error in the name of an agency. Moving on. BuzzFeed's dying. I think it's going away. BuzzFeed apparently might be closing. There's a couple articles on this. But BuzzFeed's Ben Smith claims his Russian dossier publication helped Trump. He said he'll do it again. What? BuzzFeed's Ben Smith has an article out in the Atlantic magazine advertising his new book, Traffic, while making the tantalizing admission that the infamous Russian PP dossier published by the hit outlet actually aided President Trump. Smith defends his publication, saying the article's headline that he would do it again. If you want to read this story, whatever. But apparently BuzzFeed's getting rid of most of its staff. I think it's a dying thing. Here, let's look up a little BuzzFeed thing before we go, and then we'll get out of here. Let's see. I don't need that. I do need that. Let's go here. Just give me 1 second, guys. Let's see. Because BuzzFeed was trending yesterday. A lot of people were laughing about it because, BuzzFeed. Come on, man. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. This is new. hang on. I might go through 2 articles because there's one more here that I got to go. We'll do it here. All right, let's look up BuzzFeed real quick. BuzzFeed. So, let's see. Wait, this guy, Matt, whatever, who claims to be the VP communications for BuzzFeed, came to attack me in a DM. He's so mad I tweeted BuzzFeed News is closing. He wanted me to retweet that while BuzzFeed News is shutting down, the parent company is still standing strong. So BuzzFeed News is closing down. There. If there is an oxymoron on this planet, that would be BuzzFeed News. So apparently BuzzFeed News is shutting down. I don't know if I'm not seeing anything. Here's a great BuzzFeed story. Can you imagine why? Here's a BuzzFeed story. 11 delightful poems found in Pornhub comments. All right, let's see. Here, Not the Bee, which is the Babylon Bee's actual news site. BuzzFeed News to shut down. It's a tragic day. Fake news outlet keeps shutting down like this. Who will compete with the Babylon Bee? Maybe CNN. This is CNN. Will be next. Here's the memo from CEO Jonah Parady. Over the next couple of months, we will work together to run a more agile and focused business organization with the capacity to bring more revenue. We will concentrate our news efforts in HuffPost, a brand that is profitable with a highly engaged, loyal audience that is less dependent on social platforms. Translation, we're going to stick with our uber woke news platform with people who exist in an ideological echo chamber because reaching the masses has failed. So anyway, they're shutting down BuzzFeed News. But they still own HuffPo. They bought out HuffPo, I think, right? Is that correct? They bought out HuffPost? I'm just so sad. And finally, I just saw this article, article. We'll finish with this. Oh, wait. What the hell happened to it? I had it up here. So this is CNN just when the show started. A transgender woman has sued Maryland's Corrections Department in federal court, alleging she was improperly housed with male inmates while jailed for 3 months in 2021 and 2022 and was sexually assaulted and denied hormone treatment during that time. Well, or you could be in a women's prison and you could be the perpetrator. Okay. The suit alleges that plaintiff Chelsea Gilliam then was transferred to a different facility but improperly placed in solitary confinement there for about 3 months because of her gender identity. Yes, women protecting the other women inmates. I want to know what this person was in jail for. That's what I want to know. The lawsuit filed this week in U.S. District Court in Maryland against the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services alleges the department violated Gilliam's constitutional rights by having her housed with men, left unprotected from assault, harassed, held in solitary confinement, and denied necessary medical treatment. Your meds and whatever are an option that you chose in your life. They're not necessary. You are responsible for that, and if you have to work in prison to get those things, then so be it. The suit alleges Gilliam suffered harm, including exacerbation of her gender dysphoria and physical and emotional distress, and she continues to suffer harm from defendants' action, including anxiety and depression. That's part of gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria describes psychological distress that results from incongruence between one's sex. They use this damn term, a sex sign at birth. Your sex doesn't change. Stop saying a sign at birth. Yes, I did the clap thing very quickly. Between one's sex and with the gender with which that person identifies. according to the American Psychiatric Association. Someone got mad that someone called gender dysphoria mental illness. It is a mental illness. Mental illness is not a bad thing. Lots of people have mental illnesses, just anorexia or any kinds of psychosis are mental illnesses that are their illnesses. Now, if you prefer saying mental distress, or whatever, any other term, I don't care. It's still a mental illness. And it's, you say you don't want us to stigmatize people who have mental illness, but then you stigmatize the word mental illness when we use it for something that is a mental illness. Oh, wait, because trans people don't want to be thought of as having a mental illness. Sorry, it is. It's body dysphoria. Okay? Disassociation with what you are. That's what it is. I'm filing the lawsuit today because I don't want what happened to me to happen to any other trans woman in the state of Maryland. Gillum says. So she's demanding to be put in a women's prison. This human male, is asking to be put in a prison, which is separated by sex, not by gender. They're separated by sex. Again, I want the state of Maryland to be held accountable for what happened. The suit covers Gillum's detention in the Baltimore City Correctional Center from December 2021 to February 2022, and the Maryland Reception, Diagnostic, and Classification Center from February to May 2022. She was a pre-trial detainee at both facilities, having been arrested on an assault charge, according to Eve Hill, Gillum's attorney. Okay, now, this is interesting. Now, here's where they put this person, I'm not so concerned about. But it's a pre-trial detention from December 2021 to May 2022. That's 6 months. That seems, I know courts are backed up, but that seems like a long time to get a trial. I'd be more concerned about how long to get a trial. I wonder what happened during that 6 months. Anyway, both facilities fall under the department's Division of Corrections. I would say that I was treated like an animal. You're getting ready for trial for assault. I'm pretty sure everyone in there is treated pretty poorly. And, but pre-trial, I think people should be treated. I know this is hard to do, but you should be treated like a human being in pretrial, but it doesn't mean that your sex changes. You're in a facility separated by sex, not gender. Not what you perceive, but what is real. Okay? But it was worse than that. People love and respect their animals, Gillum said at a news conference. I was treated like an alien from the moment that I entered Baltimore City Corrections by inmates and staff. A local joke day in and out. Okay, whatever. Now, what the suit says about her detention, Gillum was diagnosed with and began treatment for gender dysphoria in approximately 2003. When she was 17, the suit says. She has lived exclusively as a woman for more than 14 years and legally changed her name to Chelsea in 2009, according to the suit. She received hormone treatments for gender dysphoria for 18 years before she was jailed, the suit says. Despite Gillum's female gender identity, feminine appearance, and years of hormone therapy treatment, she was placed in the Baltimore City Correctional Center with male inmates and forced to shower with men, despite the known risk of sexual assault from male inmates, and in contravention to defendants' own policy, the state's own policy, the suit reads. They might, they might have to figure this out, because you can't put this person in a women's prison, but maybe it is tough to put them in a men's prison, but that's why they kept this person in solitary and kept her away from other inmates. I know part of the problem is maybe don't assault people, and, maybe stop being a joke. That too. I see the rotten corpse. Gillum was threatened with a knife and sexually assaulted by a male inmate while in the shower there, according to the suit. After the assault, the Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services took no action, the lawsuit alleges, though division and correction staff promised accommodations like showers and recreation time separate from male inmates. The accommodations were not honored, the suit alleges. Gillum was also denied hormone treatment throughout her time at the facility, the suit alleges. Department policy says that housing placement of an inmate with gender dysphoria shall be made on a case-by-case basis, seriously considering the inmate's opinion regarding the inmate's safety and the inmate's biological gender presentation and appearance. In February 2022, Gillum was transferred to the Maryland Reception Diagnostic and Classification Center, where she was put in solitary confinement solely because she is transgender. Wasn't she at assault risk, though? She was at risk at being assaulted. And so what do you want to do? But make up your mind. You're saying that up here, you know, you're in this prison and your chance of being assaulted. So they put you in a place where you're in solitary, where you're less chance of being assaulted. And now you don't want that either. When she was granted a review of the situation, the defendant could only offer her placement in general population of the men's prison, not placement in the women's facility, the suit reads. It required her to sign a waiver saying that she wouldn't hold the Public Safety Department liable if anything happened to her in the men's prison. It says she refused that proposal and remained in solitary confinement until she was released in mid-May 2022. She feels the arrangement was punitive, like she did something wrong and was being maliciously punished for that perceived wrong. No, you got assaulted and they were protecting you from assault. And if you wanted to go back to the general population, you have to sign a waiver saying that we realize that you're doing this. This is one of those things that this is one of the challenges of all this. I hate to say insanity, but so the chances of her going into a women's prison, is that a better idea? Or do you have to now have facilities for transgender people? Maybe you just have a separate section in each prison that's isolated with just transgender people, away from the general population of men or women, because the male inmates who are transgender, who, you know, live as females, they are at risk of assault in a men's prison, more likely to assault in a women's prison. I'm pretty sure that's I'm sure there's empirical evidence to support that. So, holy shit. And I'm going to finish on that. I was going to try to finish something on something happy and funny and whatnot, but I don't have anything. I've got nothing. Now, a couple more notifications. Thanks for... Oh, I do have a couple funny things. We'll do this. Because thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep, for retweeting the show. Also, Hig, thank you, sir, from the home base in Florida. So a couple people replied to my tweet about Twitter check marks. And we'll finish with this because it's funny. Let's see. Here we go. Is this where they came from? Where are they? Where are the replies? Oh, this is this is from, well, who are they responding to? I'll have to go back and look at this. On Alyssa Milano, it's not nice to impersonate a public figure and pretend she's a whiny feminist. It's not nice to impersonate a public figure and pretend she's a whiny feminist. Yeah, everyone wants to be that. And someone said, didn't Elon institute an impersonation policy to tackle exactly what she's saying? Or is she just willfully ignoring that because, you know, a bunch of bullshit? Well, yes, she absolutely is ignoring that because he did implement that policy and they've gotten rid of people who are impersonating other people. So, and then here's a couple of memes and we'll finish out. First one here is, wait, what are they replying to? Oh, they're replying to my show feed. Okay. No, now it's just a sign for people who are thirsty for attention and longer tweets. LOL. The blue check doesn't mean anything, but that's what you're so thirsty for, attention, and you're willing to pay for a blue check mark. No, I actually use the additional features. I actually do. Sorry, Josephus or whatever the fuck your name is. and laughing that I paid for Twitter. I don't give a shit. Do you think that bothers me? I laugh at you for thinking that bothers me. I like the features. And then someone else said, oh, what will they do? But I know things, damn it. They don't have there's a lot of people responding to this. I didn't realize that until just now. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. It's Friday, so I won't be here tomorrow, but I'll be back on Monday, as I am Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, or somewhere close to that. If you haven't hit the like button, which several of you have not, hit it now, please! And then share the stream, do all that stuff. P-Dog Night Live, 24 hours a day. Thank you, Chicago Mike, the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Also, Hig Gunfox for sponsoring the show today. And I greatly appreciate all of you. Did Jimmy Das Hotep too, or is that from another day? I don't even know. I gotta look this up. Let's see. Gunfox, Hig, and Chicago Mike. And Jimmy Das Hotep. No, that's yesterday. Anyway, thanks everyone who sponsors the show, dropping bucks in the tip jar. And thanks for everyone who shares the stream. I hope you have a great weekend. My name is P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.